Why, hello, everybody, and happy early afternoon. Not something that I always get to say to you guys, but my name is Dan C. Bearded, and this is the live stream known as Beard Topics Live. We are bringing you episode 39, which is sponsored by WeatherBeard Supply Co. On your way in, if you guys don't mind, check to see if you remember to hit the thumbs up. And if you'd like to share this out, that would mean a lot to me. We are getting closer to 100,000 subscribers, which is a huge goal for me and this channel. And any share can really help. And especially this stream, because this stream is something that's a little bit different and something that I take a lot of pride in having replay value for. And a lot of the streams we do just silliness and we catch up and we talk about stories. This is 1 hour of almost entirely pure beard talk. It is just nerding out on questions, nerding out on topics. We get as specific as we would like. We do get the chat involved. So if you guys would like to say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Are you at work on lunch break? Are you in the future watching? And leave a comment on replay. It is all greatly, greatly appreciated. And because of that, we do approach this more so like a podcast. So it's just kind of a constant flow of information, and it's not as much the interaction. But how the breakdown works is we will start with some information spotlight about our sponsor, WeatherBeard. And then I have 3 pre-arranged questions from you guys. Last time I drew these questions from Instagram. Today, I have taken these questions from different comments that I've had on the videos, and who knows where it will go in the future. Sometimes I've asked Reddit, other times I've asked YouTube, and so it's just pulled from you guys. That is the first half of this hour. The second half of the hour is opened up to the chat, and whatever questions, observations, or topics you guys want to go over, would be happy to go over them. And I do want to establish I am by no means a self-claimed expert. I am not a guru. I do not have a formal education in this. I am just a guy that is passionate about facial hair, that is really in tune with my journey, and I have a large sample size of doing this on YouTube for over 7 years, caring for my beard for much longer than that, and above all, having a sample size of thousands and thousands of men that share their observations, their struggles, their wonderings, their wins, and then I'm just kind of a mouthpiece, a vehicle of delivery of bringing that information to you guys, but also having you be able to add in and bring your own information out there. So it is absolutely appreciated. And yeah, we are going to have an amazing time today, you guys. We have some really, really good topics out there. So if you don't mind, one more time as a recap, see if you remember the thumbs up. Consider sharing this out and then get involved with the chat, even though this is a stream that I know a lot of people just listen to. They put an earbud in at work. Love that. Get paid while you listen. And then I also know this is the stream that has the most legs and grows and grows and grows over time. Normally within 24 hours, the views double. And then the search results take care of continuing to grow into the future. And so it is appreciated. Any way you guys can interact with this stream is something that is always going to help out with what we're doing here. And Paul just got his first order from WeatherBeard. That is awesome, man. Absolutely awesome. And yeah, thank you, Josh. I do have a video that dropped yesterday about beard touching. So if you guys want to check that one out, it is a pretty dang good one. All right. And this is episode 39. As it says up in the corner, this is a live stream that is for random days and random times. Today was actually one of the more scheduled out Beard Topics Live. Sometimes it's just an hour or two notice. Today I was able to schedule it in the morning for this 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And the reason why is I already have 2 live streams that I'm tied down to the schedule with, which I love, but adding a third is just not realistic with our family's busy, crazy life. So this gives me flexibility to be able to put these streams in when it just seems like it's right. And then also a true value of this stream is reaching a different live stream audience that can't normally make my 9 p.m. Eastern night Monday and Thursday streams. Thursday one is Beard Advice Live. That one is Thursday for the next 2 months at least. And then Monday's Commands Corner. We've been doing that for over 7 years now. But this allows us to reach people that have a different work schedule. Sometimes people live in the same time zone as me, but they have to get up really early, so they can't stay up till 10:30, 11:30 at night. Others are, we had someone said, hey, Mr. Daniel in the chat right there. I saw he commented in my Facebook group, which is the Commands Corner, if you guys want to check that out. And he said, love the Euro-friendly time. And so this stream literally reaches people that just fit their lifestyle better, their time zone better. And I'm very, very happy with that. And so if you guys are in the chat and you want to drop a location, that would be really cool. I know that we have several of our friends here. We have, and thank you, Jacob. We have some Michiganders in the house. We've got the UK represented. I know we got Canada represented. So if you want to drop a comment, it is always appreciated just to kind of see how far we are reaching on these streams. And shout out to the lovely ladies watching, such as Chelsea. Really appreciate that. Pierre, it is not translating your comment in YouTube. So if you would like for me to be able to read what you're putting, you will need to use a Google Translate and copy and paste into the chat, because it will not give me the option of auto translating. So I'm not able to be able to read that. Thank you, Bill. Bill's checking in from Ohio. We'll be there in a week or two for some soccer. And I actually have a Columbus Crew shirt on right now. And he said, Ohio here, Dan, you're the best. Thank you, man. I just genuinely love what I do, and just a dude sharing my journey and being able to tap into all these amazing people in the community. So this stream is episode 39. My goal is to do 1 to 2 of these a week moving forward. I don't want to be tied down to that or have any pressure of that, but my goal is to be doing 1 to 2 a week. If you're a company that's interested in sponsoring, it's not something that's like a super need or something that I'm out there being like, I need sponsors. But if any company is like, man, I wish I could get involved on this, reach out. I'd be happy to share the details with you, because right now I have a rotation, I believe, of 7 sponsors for this show, which is fantastic. But there is a little bit of room for a few more if anybody is watching and interested. I don't ever want companies to feel like, oh, Dan doesn't ask me to do this, that. I don't really ask companies much of anything unless we have a very long relationship and they make it very clear, Dan, every opportunity you have, please let me know. And then I give them that notice. Otherwise, I don't ask companies for anything. And in that situation, I'm still not even asking them. I'm just giving the courtesy to let them know there are opportunities. And hey, what's up, Max? It's good to see you, man. I know life, and anybody that's watching right now that's like, dude, I haven't made video or streams lately. I haven't commented on videos lately. Trust me, guys. I understand life has seasons. There's busy seasons. There's caring about beard season. There's priority seasons where other stuff is more important, where YouTube kind of goes to the back burner. So I entirely understand and have no issues there at all. So thank you guys for coming on in. All right, let's go ahead and see what is going on with our sponsor today. And this is WeatherBeard. Your affiliate discount code, if you guys ever want to try this great company, is DanC10. I will leave that scrolling down at the bottom. Saves you guys 10%. It does support what we do here, being an affiliate, and it supports a great husband and wife American small batch company. And here's their carrier blend. In case you guys are curious, it is a medium viscosity carrier blend. And also, while we're at it here, is Jay put in a question in the chat. I'm going to star that question. And at the halfway point, once we've gone through our 3 pre-questions, we will get to that one. So if you give questions throughout, I promise I will do my best to star them, and we will circle back during the question segment. But I love it when it's fresh on your mind. Go ahead and send it so I can save those ones and you guys don't forget them. And thank you, Will. And so their carrier blend medium viscosity is Abyssinian, jojoba, hemp seed, sunflower, fractionated coconut, meadow foam seed, shea nut, castor, and that fragrance. Just an awesome, awesome company. Awesome, awesome blend. And a couple of things that if I were to suggest to people, one is the Arctic Chill Beard Wash. It is all natural. It is essential oil. It is fantastic. And one thing that if you're just going to try them for the first time, right? Because we're reaching a new audience with these streams, the sample kit is one of a kind. It's got this great tin that is used well beyond the life of the samples. And then you get a really good range of 8 samples of their scents. So just something to consider there. Nate in the chat already said it's so dang good. And Jacob says, if y'all haven't tried WeatherBeard, you need his new EO line. It's amazing. And the Feelin' Beard's out of this world. I agree. Pierre, I have starred your question, and we will hit that at the question segment. Yep, at the question segment. And Josh, I'm glad you're here, man. And we can hopefully pick those vibes up for you. All right. Yeah, the Arctic bar. So yeah, Paul, absolutely. And it is. This company is doing it very, very well, you guys. And Corey says the Arctic Chill Beard Wash Conditioner Soap is the top-selling shower collection. And that makes sense. That peppermint, that vanilla, it just brings so much of like a clean, peaceful experience to the grooming process. Yeah, it is absolutely awesome. And Justin says, highly recommend the sample pack. Love the scents. So shout out to WeatherBeard, you guys. I'll leave their scrolly at the bottom about the sponsor today. If you want to give them a shot, fantastic. If it's not the right time, we never want you guys to be in a bad spot. Never feel pressure like you need to buy or do anything like that. It's just a great company to highlight and just showing you guys these opportunities. And last comment here, Michael says, the sample kit was my intro into WeatherBeard and can't beat it. Love that. Yep, absolutely love that. Okay. Thank you, WeatherBeard. You guys are awesome. All right, first one, and we're not done with WeatherBeard yet. This couldn't have come at a better time to have this company sponsoring with this first topic. So Joseph, who's an active member of the community, says, struggle between growing the beard out and rocking the mustache since the trimmer claimed beard. So Joseph has been a longtime viewer of this channel, friend of mine. Yeah, Sarge, these are the random days, random time streams, exactly. And Joseph had an accident with the trimmer and it claimed his beard. Unfortunately, he lost it. Now, as he is on this new chapter of his facial hair journey, he's been rocking just the mustache, or I believe what some would call a beard stash, where it's the mustache and then like some stubble or a shorter beard. And he said, man, I'm struggling between the idea of just rocking it like it is, and I'm struggling with the concept of trimming down and growing out and having a bigger beard. Well, Corey, the co-owner of this company, WeatherBeard, he has been through a similar journey. Corey's had a big 6-inch full beard, but currently, he is rocking a beard stash. I actually had a consultation call with him yesterday, and I was able to see it. And I told him, I said, your mustache is bigger than I've ever seen. The dude's got a real walrus going and is going to go even bigger with the stash. And he encourages people to kind of explore that. And it's his favorite facial hairstyle that he's had yet. He said he gets more comments and like positive compliments about it. And he feels like it's less maintenance to be able to groom the shorter beard. So, Joseph, there is a lot to the pros and cons of all of them. For me, the beard stash is not my style personally, given my face shape and just kind of like my overall style and structure as a human. However, there are other people that I see rock it, and I'm like, man, that's perfect. That is a handsome look. And so I don't know what the correct answer is there. And Shane in the chat says, I'm actually sporting a beard stash right now. Just haven't updated my pick. So for this struggle, Joseph, this is one of the questions that I can't answer. But what I can say is it's never a big deal to try something new. Right? If you are at a state where you're like, man, I've had a big beard, I missed it, but I'm kind of interested in this beard stash, listen, try the beard stash. And then if ever the day comes, you're like, nope, I just fully realized it's not for me, then you just keep growing. You actually don't really change anything. You just grow back into that longer, more full beard. And the thing that really sinks in for that is that now you know in your head that doubt is gone. And so, hey, Bill, I got your question started as well. And now that doubt is gone. Now you're like, okay, I scratched the itch. I fully understand, and I'm able to kind of move on. And a lot of people are complimenting it, right? Nate says Corey crushes the beard stash. Jacob says the beard stash works well with Corey. And JB says Corey's current stash is going strong. And so, yeah, absolutely. Get my choice. Nice. Awesome, Gio. Thanks for listening while you work, man. I appreciate that. So I would say, reading it one more time, struggle between growing the beard out and rocking the mustache since the trimmer claimed beard. If you like where you're at, enjoy that chapter. If you do feel like something is missing, if it's not quite adding up to your style or like a part of you is gone, then start growing it back out. We are going into the fall. We are going into No Shave November. And if you are going to grow later in the season, I always give the advice, why not start now? Why not have a head start? And then you're not with the same crowd. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but you're not with the same crowd that is starting on November 1st to grow it long. Get a little bit of an advantage. Get a little bit of a head start. And so there's no right or wrong here. But if you really have any doubt, I would pursue it so you can at least get rid of that doubt, right? We just finished putting a fence around our new pool that we put in this summer. And there were several situations that we just had. Hey, what's up, Andrew? We just simply had to go through to figure out if we were right or wrong, that we had a little bit of doubt on something. And rather than going years with that doubt in the back of our head, let's front load. Let's do the work right now. Let's be sure about the doubt, and then we move on. So, Joseph, if you still have that itch of thinking that you want to rock a beard stash or you want to rock a mustache, do it. I genuinely mean that. Do that. And then if it changes, now you know forever. And you're able to continue to move on there. So great topic. Couldn't have come at a better time with WeatherBeard being the sponsor. So thank you, Joseph, so much on that one. Okay. Ashley asks, what are the benefits of using a stripping beard wash? Awesome. I love this because I've had, there's another guy, George, who has been sending me a ton of emails about pretty much the same exact topic. And people are starting to come around to the concept of washing, where it's, I believe, hopefully commonly known now that the old rhetoric of you only wash your beard once or twice a week, otherwise you'll kill your beard, is just gone. It's false. It's wrong. For the current time, I don't believe 10 years ago that was bad advice. The reason why is 10 years ago, we did not have the daily, gentle, beard-formulated washes that we have today. So 10 years ago, you had to pick between having a clean beard by washing with soap every day or head hair shampoo every day, but likely you were hurting the health of your beard, or having a beard that wasn't as clean, but it likely was healthier as far as growth and structure goes. That's a tough thing. Well, today we can have best of both worlds. You can have a clean beard and a healthy beard that's setting itself up for the best growth possible. So what you want to be able to do is wash your beard. And my recommendation, I'm not saying that this is gospel. You don't need to listen to me. This is just me sharing answers to what people asked. My recommendation is get a good quality daily gentle beard wash or a couple that you want to rotate through. And when you do that, use that 6 days a week. On the 7th day, doesn't matter if it's Sunday, Saturday, does not matter. On the 7th day, use a stripping wash. I do recommend following a stripping wash with conditioner, other than really short stubble beards. And other than that, totally personal preference on conditioner. And so what I would say, the reason is, what are the benefits of stripping on the wash? A more daily gentle beard wash is going to clean almost everything. It's going to have a more gentle pH level almost always, and it's going to have ingredients that are more for the cleansing rather than clarifying and stripping. And there is a difference between cleansing and clarifying. When you are doing that daily gentle, it's going to get out all the wax. It's going to get out all the stuff that's on the hair, that's on the skin. with the exception of some real, for lack of a better term, sticky substances that will latch onto the follicle. Oftentimes getting salt, aka sodium out, is just really, really difficult with even a daily gentle wash. And then you just have other things that just like to really bond onto the follicle in the like base of the hair shaft. That stripping wash is going to have a more aggressive pH. It's going to have more clarifying ingredients, and it's going to just clean in a more harsh way. Now, that is needed, I believe, for most men once a week, even if you have a very clean lifestyle. Even if you're like, I'm not a mechanic, I don't work landscape, I don't have this big sweaty job, you still have pollutants in the air. You still have allergens and stuff blowing around. You're still likely around germs, whether your kids are bringing them home from school, whether you're in public transit, whether you're at a gas station, whether you're at a restaurant. And I do recommend once a week stepping it up and getting something a little bit stronger than the other parts of the week. And so it does make a difference. So essentially, it's just power packing your wash in a way that the Daily Gentle cannot. So is it required? Do you need a stripping wash to have a thriving beard? No, but I genuinely believe it helps. For me, if there are only two products that you need for everybody to have the healthiest possible beard, I would say that it is beard oil and a Daily Gentle wash. I genuinely believe almost everybody does not have their peak beard without those two products. Now, does butter help soften the hair? Oh my gosh, yes. Does conditioner help detangle and lessen snags and premature shedding? Yes, absolutely. Does a stripping wash do a great thing to be able to add a little bit extra oomph and power into your weekly rotation? Yes. Does balm and wax and mustache wax help styling? Yes. But those aren't as much needed as the oil and gentle wash. So hopefully that answered. It's a more powerful wash to get out stuff that nothing else could. And please do not consider running warm or hot water through your beard as washing. On almost a daily basis, I get somebody commenting about all I do is same thing my parents did and my grandparents did is run water through my beard. That's all you need. Don't let these scam companies and influencers tell you otherwise. They're just out there to get money. Hey, to each their own. Yep, to each their own. But go ahead and research. Washing versus rinsing. And yes. All right. So thank you, Ashley. Great question. And then our final set question before we kick it over to the chat. So if you guys are in the chat, please start thinking about topics and questions you want to discuss or you're wondering about when it comes to facial hair. Last one here. Hey, Dan, is there any good natural volumizer without harsh chemicals that you would use? So I love this question because we're starting now as an industry to get questions about product types that people learn about. What people learn about through the female head hair industry. Normally, they learn from the women in their lives, such as their wives. And a volumizer is something that allows hair to get bigger. It allows it to kind of stay in place without falling flat, right? A lot of women with their head hair, if they straighten it and leave it alone, it just kind of sticks straight to the sides. And they want something to have a little bit more volume, a little bit more poof to the hair. For beards, is there a good natural volumizer without harsh chemicals? Meaning, it's going to give you a little bit more volume. It's going to stretch the beard out. It's going to give it a little bit more pop. The answer would be no, absolutely not. And like I see Nate in the chat says that, he goes, that is perhaps exactly how we stumbled upon Hamley squalane. And he's talking about that product and ingredient being used in the women's industry, not necessarily as a volumizer, but in a different way. Yep, in a different way. All right, Almond, I have starred your question. And then also Rugged, I have starred yours as well. For the volumizer, something that's going to make your beard appear to be bigger, appear to be thicker, appear to have more width to it, more girth to it, more volume to it. All right, thank you, Jacob. No, there is absolutely nothing other than styling techniques, other than health of the beard. If you want your beard not to lay as flat, go with more of a thin viscosity oil. If you want your beard to lay and have a little bit more volume, never use balm. Never use wax. Only use butter at night. Those solid products are going to weigh it down. One aspect that I would challenge you to look for on my videos is do a search for Dancy Bearded Blowout Beard. What's up, Kevin? The blowout beard method is exactly that. It's the concept to get more volume and more size to your beard. And it involves, hey, good morning, Marcio. It involves a blow dryer from underneath your beard and then using a pick comb or another comb that you can use like a pick, and you're combing away from your face. When you do that, it's going to get bigger. It's going to get wider. It's going to add more variable space between the hairs, giving it more volume. But no, we do not have a hairspray. We do not have a volumizer spray. We don't use sea salt spray. None of that for the beard. Those would be the harsh chemicals that would harm the beard. So unfortunately, there's not a one size fits for head hair to beard on that situation. And we will get many times where this similar thing happens. Hey, is there a product like this my wife uses? No, absolutely not. And almost always, even if there is, we have to give something up. So for example, somebody suggested in my Facebook group the other day, when somebody was looking to tame their hair, they said, hey, use a flat iron on the beard. It's great and it does a lot of things. I simply responded back and said, like, hey, I would highly recommend not using a flat iron. It is absolutely something that is going to bring the beard too small, too compact. And okay. And Jumpmaster says clay. So for me, and this is anybody is of course welcome to their experience opinions. I am not a fan of any form of clay for the beard. Almost always they are something that is more of the dehydrated look, and it's going to draw moisture into it. I also don't like the feel of it. There are ways you can get your beard to look bigger. There are ways you can do it. But for me, I've not found something that is a net positive for the beard, right? When you use beard oil, it's great for styling. It's great for the health of it. There's no drawbacks to beard oil. So I'm not a fan of the clay products. I know there's companies that make pomades that are clay-based for the beard. I'm not a fan of those either. I just don't think that they're a net positive for the beard, but to each their own, right? There's guys that use glue on their beard. There's guys that use hairspray on their beard and they get away with it. Psh, rock on, rock on. Who am I to say that you can't use that? But to answer this one, 100%, no. There is not something current on the market that I would say I would recommend for that. Awesome. All right. Now we move on to the questions from you guys in the chat, and we will get right into these. And so if you have any questions, just simply drop in the chat and I'll be hitting these in order I'll be hitting these ones in order of as they've come in and as I have starred them. All right. So Jay says, just tried emu oil for the first time. Is that type of oil okay to use when using a heated brush? Yes. And great question. So yeah, 100% you can use any kind of bird oil with a heated brush, but I think it's a fair question. Because what is bird oil? Bird oil is rendered down fat from that bird. And so it 100%, I could see you being like, hey, it's different. Can I put it through heat? Is it cooking it? Is it this? No, absolutely not. You are totally fine. I've done it hundreds of times, used heat on bird oil, ostrich, and emu oil. So great question, inquisitive question, but no issues there at all. Pierre says, good evening. Love that. Early afternoon here. But yeah, emu is good stuff. Emu is, other than CBD oil, is the most anti-inflammation ingredient I've ever worked with, that and ostrich. It's going to really help kind of de-stress the hair and get the hair just nice and relaxed. Yeah. Hey, Renee. I have a beard of almost a year. How long will it take for my beard to reach its full potential? Pierre, no one can know. I'm actually going to put it down 2 days ago. I'm getting all my notes and everything ready. But no one can know how long it will take for your beard to get to its potential. For some people, it's as soon as 2 years, where you will hit terminal length after 2 years. That's very rare, though. That's next to nobody. But it does happen, especially if you are later in life. If you are above the age of like 45, you're going to really know your terminal length. The only major variable that can change after that age is health. And as your health changes, so can your terminal length. So there's never a concrete answer. But I will say, and this is going to be like a little bit of a sneak preview for the future. I will say, though, on average, terminal length cannot be determined until at least 7 years. And for many of us, that's not enough. For me, 7 years, I have not hit terminal length of growing at 7 years. I will, even with trims along the way, I know for a fact mine is much longer than 7 years. And how do we know that? We start to look at numbers and see, oh, okay, a half an inch a month, that's 6. Okay, yeah, are there beards that are longer? What's up, Lorenzo? Yeah, okay. 7+ years is oftentimes the minimum for most of us to determine our true beard potential. If we're talking about length, if we're talking about volume, if we're talking about terminal length. Now, that's not easy to say, right? That's not a fun, sexy number. A year or 2 years would be a much better answer, but unfortunately, it's just not true. And many people in the chat right now have had a beard for more than 2 years, and they can tell you how much it's changed. And there's some really big differences from years 1 and 2 to 3 and 4, and especially years 5 and 6, 7, 8. You really get to learn your beard. You really get to focus on it, and it can make a massive, massive difference. Yep, massive difference. So, shout out to Pierre. Great question, man. I'm glad that you were able to check in from the Netherlands. And again, guys, different time zones, different places. And those of you that are watching on replay, which is most of you, like I said, Beard Topics Live is by far my most replayed live stream. If you could drop a comment in the comment section, just let us know where you're from. Where did you watch this from? I know it's not live if you're on replay, but maybe you got in bed for the night and you're winding down and the sweet, calm voice put you to sleep. Or are you watching at work? Are you watching later? And so, yeah. All right. Bill says, I work in plastics manufacturing company, and there's a lot of static. Makes my beard fuzzy. Anything I can do. Ooh, interesting. So hey, what's up, Chris? One of the reasons I love carbon fiber is because the lack of any kind of static. And for me, it is a really, 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 thank you, man. I'm off to work. All right, take care, kitchen table. And so for me, I love carbon fiber because it gets rid of the static, right? I like the cellulose acetate, aka the like plastic Kent combs, but they add a lot of static, and I hate that. So I can only imagine, Bill, how it is for you. For me, the one thing that I find that immediately, and there's all sorts of tricks out there. People say like rub metal over your clothing and help reduce static and all this and that. The one thing that I have found that really works to reduce static is water. And so if you're at work, maybe have a misting bottle if possible, or a little spray bottle in your pocket or your locker or wherever you have like your break time. I feel like that could help out. Now, you don't want to fully saturate your beard and get it sopping wet, of course, especially at work, and that's just going to create a big mess. But something like a barely know her, but something like a mister, where's the missus? All right, Dan. But something like a misting spray bottle can help kind of knock down that static electricity. Especially, I mean, you work in plastic manufacturing, you are in like the hub of static electricity. But I feel like that could help out and make a difference. So, Bill, let us know, especially if you can check another live stream, if you make any adjustments and if that helps out at all. Recommendations for daily beard washes and recommendations for stripping. So right here, WeatherBeard has a great option for both. Their bar soap would be your stripping wash. soap is almost always going to be a stripping wash. By definition, unless we have a strange variable like goat's milk, soap that goes through the saponification process, aka uses lye, which is in the manufacturing, but it's not in the end result, is going to have a pH of 9 to 11. And that will be stripping when it's a soap situation. So their soap is a stripping wash, great option. And their beard wash is daily. It is gentle. It is all natural. That's something that can really help you out. So genuinely something that I recommend for you guys is their 2 options. Okay. Did you hear about beard keratin to make curly beard permanently straight? Yeah, don't do that. Absolutely. So there are keratin treatments that are natural, that are just kind of like an oil that you apply. They will not make your beard straight. What you're talking about here, when you do a keratin treatment that involves permanently straightening the beard, that is the opposite of a perm. That is something that is using chemicals, it is using heat, and it's using it in a very harsh way, and it is going to over straighten the hair. I mentioned earlier when someone commented suggesting a flat iron, it's not good for the hair. It's too straight and direct for the hair to be able to use. Also, I've never once seen facial hair that uses a flat iron that looks like facial hair. It always becomes too straight. With the one exception, the small ones that guys use on their mustache, I think that's totally fine because a handlebar or really styled mustache can look straight. But I've never met facial hair from the beard where I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. It's perfectly straight. It's female head hair straight. I don't like that look. And oftentimes the people that are advocating for that and talking about how great it is, they're the ones with that really thinned out, straight, overly heated beards or goatees, whatever the situation is, and just not a fan. So in this one, please, 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 if anything is going to say that it is going to make your hair permanently straight, run away. I style every morning, but here's like the dirty secret of it. Anytime water gets introduced to that styling, it restarts right back again. And so it is by no means permanent, and I'll never claim any of the products or styling that I recommend are permanent. And thank you, everybody, just coming in. Shout out to Jacob, Diablo, Michael, Slash. Love that. And yeah, kind of final talks. It would make it look thin. It would make it look like female head hair. Not a recommendation, and it's just not good for the hair. Gio said, when I start to use proper quality beard products and introduce a proper routine, how long before I see the benefits? I love this, and I need to make a video on this soon. The benefits, what's up, Carlos? The benefits when you switch to using quality products and when you switch to a quality routine are immediate. The first morning routine where you switch and you use a quality wash, a quality comb, and a quality oil, and your routine is dialed in, right? Apply oil to a damp beard, wait 3 to 5 minutes, heat optional, and go from there. You absolutely will see benefits immediately. There is no snake oil salespeople in this industry that actually know what they're doing. Why? Because when you try a quality product, you feel the difference. Almost all of us had something worse originally, and we got better. If you started out using great stuff and you found the videos and did a routine, oh my gosh, kudos to you. Most people don't, though. And you genuinely know right away. I'm actually going to write that idea down right now because I think that will be worth it. How long? Okay. Quality beard care. How long until I notice the results? Something like that. Love it. You guys can see it, how it's made behind the scenes. But it's immediate. I'm so glad too, because there's nothing where it's like, oh, just give it 6 months and then you'll tell the difference. Hey, Dynamite, thank you for the super sticker, dude. Love that. But it's not like you got to wait. You know immediately. Like you just really, really know immediately. Michael says, once I started using a blow dryer instead of heated brush, I don't get that thinned out look. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt there. And yeah, and Nate says it only gets better from there. Like the jump is huge, then it gets better with styling technique. Yeah, the more you learn your beard, the more you listen to your beard, the better and better and better it gets. Yep, the better and better and better it gets. So great question. Answer, truly the first time you use better products, you should notice. If you're wondering like, man, I don't feel any difference, I don't know the difference, maybe you use too much, maybe the routine was off, anything like that. All right, Josh, I have your question starred. Okay, question on collagen. I take it every day, but saw someone talking about taking collagen doesn't produce collagen. So what are the benefits? So collagen, it is a complicated aspect, but here's a couple of things. Collagen is one of the things that if you take a collagen supplement, it is far more than the beard. You can just simply look up the benefits of collagen supplements. Some of the key ones are for joint health. So even if we're not, and I will get to the beard, I promise, but even for joint health, it is unbelievable and can be life-changing for many. It loosens the joints, it makes them smoother, and it's the same thing. It's not like this is a different supplement. It is collagen. Other than that, collagen is unbelievable for the health of the skin. And a key phrase that everybody needs to remember when it comes to beards, to have great crops, you need to have great soil. If we want to be having the best beard possible, we need the best soil possible. And what is the soil of the beard? It is the skin. It really, really, really is. And I think I can do something with that as well. I love this stream because I always get full videos out of it. I like that. Okay. Love that. Okay. 2 video ideas born already. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Jump Master. So essentially what you're doing is you are treating the skin. The more supple the skin, the more nourished the skin, the easier it is for that skin to grow out. And I would say collagen is one of the least controversial supplements for humans in the history of supplements. There's a couple of supplements that are widely regarded as very safe and very, very effective. One is creatine. Creatine is the most studied supplement in human history. Very safe, benefits, and same kind of thing. We know creatine is fantastic for being able to retain water, being able to help muscles recover. But the more we study creatine, the more we realize the benefits to the brain and retention of memory, of sharpness, so many benefits. Collagen is the same way. It benefits you in almost every single way, and people just have zero downfalls. It's almost foolproof where you don't have any issues with it. So collagen is unbelievable for the beard, but it's far more than just that. Yep, far, far more than just that. Okay. And welcome on in, everybody that's just coming in. I appreciate it. I'm getting everybody's questions starred. All right, Frankie says, I use a deep sea mud for beard detox once a week. Have you ever used a product like that? I have. I've used the mud mask. I've used the clay mask. I've used detox things. I've done the hot oil treatments. I've done so many different things, following the trends, following the different things. Do I think something like a deep sea mud or a mask for a beard, a detox mask, do I think it's bad for the beards? No. When used properly, there's nothing wrong with it, and it's probably beneficial. But to me, there's absolutely nothing about that is better than a stripping wash and then a quality oil and then a good beard butter. You're going to have the same exact results, if not a little bit better with the wash, oil, and butter. And it's just buying extra stuff that you don't need to spend money on. It's just adding a messy, more cumbersome situation. And just as Michael said, hot oil seems too messy. I have a video on it. And guys, I have videos on this stuff. I'm not just saying I made videos. I did the hot oil treatment. My beard felt good. No issues. But as I said, I believe in the video, the juice is not worth the squeeze. The extra effort, the extra mess, the extra money, the extra tools just did not make big enough difference. Now, if I thought a detox mask was like a game changer and you couldn't achieve those results without having that product, then heck yeah. I just don't think it's worth it. I've never found one that makes a substantial difference as compared to the products, Frankie, that you already have. So that would be my take on it. Okay. And Rugged Rage says, keratin beard treatment means one time only, heating, making it permanently straight, and comb instead of combing it every day and damaging it. So here, Mr. Rage, this is where you're very, very, very wrong on. When you say instead of combing it every day and damaging it every day, no. When it's done properly, combing does not harm the beard. And let me double down and take it further. When it's done properly, and I'll say this very clearly because people don't believe me. When it's done properly, heat from a blow dryer does not harm the beard. I have an actual peer-reviewed medical study that shows heat can be healthier for the beard hairs as compared to letting it air dry. Now, I know that's wild. Now, I know that's like going against your intrinsic thoughts and just common sense. We have been so conditioned to believe that heat is terrible for hair because of one thing. The female head hair industry is dealing almost entirely with head hair that has been color treated. Most women that care about their hair do some color treatment to it. They're dyeing it, they're highlighting it, they're getting rid of their grays. Hair does need to be treated differently when you do have color treatment. Heat is bad for color treated hair. That's why a lot of women use silicones and a lot of other things because they're already going down a bad route, so they just have to compensate and make it work. Heat daily on a beard, when done properly, is not damaging the beard. Please, after this stream, look up Dancy Bearded. Heat is healthier, and you'll find a video with the study attached. So keep that in mind. 1 day of chemicals and heat permanently straightening beard hairs will kill your beard and genuinely, I believe, will make it look worse. Too straight, not a good thing. So I hope that helped out, but strongly do not recommend that. Strongly. Andrew's question is, can we just fast forward the beard journey? Only been 4 months and it feels stagnant. Yeah, might also be that I have zero patience. Yeah, this dude just wants the beard. He's an all-in guy, so I get it. Do not fast forward your journey, guys. Thoughts on Fable? Fable is a really good company. It's one of my oldest affiliates. Do I use all of their products? No, I don't. Do I like their oil? I do. The Grower is one of my favorite oils ever. It's one of the only companies that I oftentimes mix with. I'll mix a Fable with like a thinner viscosity, like a Johnny Ray, or a thinner Beard Octane. But I love the Grower and I love the Teacher. Do I agree with all of the marketing approaches from Fable all the time? No, but they're a growing company. They have a marketing team now. And so, yeah, I have absolutely no issues with Fable. Long time staple in the community. Hey, Keith, heading to South Padre in about a week. Any recommendations for beard care in heat, humidity, and golf swimming? Yeah, absolutely. Heat and humidity, just embrace it. Hey, what's up, Donald? Don't try to fight the heat and humidity. Essentially, your beard's going to get poofier. It's going to get more textured. Just lean into it. Call it your vacation beard. Please don't slap a ton of balm on it or wax on it. Don't go too crazy. Some people like to over straighten before going out in the heat and humidity. So that way when they go and they get the poof, it just kind of comes back to the middle. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But don't over battle. Now, as far as the golf swimming, just try to get your beard saturated with fresh water before going in because our beard hairs are porous. Keep that in mind. They are going to take liquid and fill inside of those hairs with whatever liquid is presented. So if you go out into the Gulf and you have salt water, it's going to be filled with salt water. Now that is dehydrating. That is bad for the skin and hair. Not as bad as chlorine, but if you add heat, sun, and salt, not good for the beard. But if your beard is fully saturated with fresh water first, meaning it's like a sponge and it's all filled up, it does kind of keep away that salt water, at least for a while. And then the biggest tip is, Keith, when available, wash your beard. Don't be the guy that runs from the beach into the bathroom, though, and leaves your family to go wash your beard. Nobody likes that guy. Nobody wants to be that guy. When it's a good time, try to prioritize it when you can. Other than that, dude, enjoy South Padre. Enjoy the swimming and the golf. Enjoy the vitamin D from the sun. All of that is awesome. And enjoying yourself is one of the best things you can do for your beard. I love that. Enjoy. And that could be a video too. Let me see here. Let me add this one. Okay. Love that. Cool. Oh, nice. And Diablo says he uses a waterproof wind guard for the beach now. I like that. I like that. Okay. Boom. Good. Okay. Got it. Making sure I got all you guys questions. And this stream is over in 10 minutes. So I will do my best to hit all of these remaining questions. Okay. And Josh says, started making beard care a priority at the end of June after finding Dan's channel. Ordered WeatherBeard and Deadman's. Immediately feel good effects, but a week or two really felt healthy again. Awesome, Josh. I'm glad, dude. I'm glad. All right. Great questions coming in, guys. I appreciate all of these. Thank you, Austin. Do you find your beard suffering when air quality is bad from Canadian wildfires? I do. Yep. We had about a peak week of Canadian wildfires, and it did impact the beard. I did really focus on my washing and making sure. We had some really bad air quality alerts, and I did notice the beard getting drier and not being as healthy. Fortunately, there wasn't much I could do about it, so I tried not to stress. But yeah, I did notice. And how do you know if your beard wash is a stripping wash? I've been using Gray Before Shave, and it doesn't say. So I do have a video on that where it breaks it down real scientifically. So after the stream, if you want to look more into it, look up stripping beard wash versus gentle beard wash. Or if you look up Dan C. Bearded stripping versus gentle, you'll find my video. And the question is, how do you know? Not what is the difference, right? How do you know? You ask someone like me or you ask the company. That's really the only way. The number one indicator is the pH level. It's not the entire story, but it is the biggest part of the story. And companies do not have to list their pH. I don't know anyone that actually does. And they don't even have to tell you. They can. You can ask them and they can tell you, but they don't have to in the United States of America. So that's one. Other than that, it's the ingredients, but that doesn't tell the whole story because it comes down to the ratios. Just because an ingredient is listed first doesn't even necessarily mean it's the most potent. It could be tied with all the remaining ingredients. So there's a whole, Nate does. Okay, so Nate lists the pH on their, is it on the product, Nate? But you got to either ask the company or ask me. Grave Before Shave is more of a daily gentle wash, not a stripping wash. Have you ever tried the Basil's product? I saw an ad in the system, and it looks like a wash, leave-in conditioner, some type of lotion-y product afterwards. No, and on the product listing. Okay, okay, on the listing. Gotcha. I believe I said the product, but I could have been mistaken. Not on the label. Gotcha. So yeah, on the listing, you can find for some companies. Jose, if it is saying wash, leave-in conditioner, and then a lotion-y thing, I would definitely not use that. That would be something that does not add up in my mind for any kind of quality. So no, nope. Fable is a between stripping and gentle. It is a kind of 2 to 3 day a week wash. It is not something that is. It is not something that is in my weekly rotation right now. Because of that, I just don't really have a spot for those in between. I use daily 6 days a week, stripping once. So that one I just don't have a spot for it in my rotation. Not that there's anything bad or wrong with it. If you use one company's product during your daily routine, will you see better results than using a mix of quality products from different companies? So, Michael, I recommend rotating. Now, the mixing part, there's no real answer there, right? We can't really know. It's like, hey, if I use a wash and an oil from different companies during the day, will I notice any benefits or downfalls? There's no real answer to that. Companies can try to make products that align themselves, but it isn't like other worlds where it's like, hey, eat this food first and then it'll help with this food. Or if you take this supplement, it's not really like that. I love rotating. I love being able to avoid the plateau effect. Just use what feels right to you and what you're enjoying. I would not feel any pressure to say, okay, today I used a WeatherBeard wash and now I need a WeatherBeard oil. And now I need that. And like, trust me, I know companies would love for me to say that. I know companies would be like, yes, Dan, make sure they're using our whole product line. But that's just not reality to me. I do believe mixing it up can be just as good. Great question. I'm on the road a lot. Do you have any tips for beard care on the go? I do. So Dirty Yurt, I actually have a video that is dedicated to over-the-road truckers. So if you want to look up trucker beard, Dancy Bearded, you'll find the video. Or over-the-road trucker beard, Dancy Bearded, or over-the-road trucker, Dancy Bearded. I've got a full video dedicated to that, and that'll help more than I can give you in a quick minute or two snippet here. But I would say simple is better. Stick to a wash, stick to an oil, and that's all you really need. I would go with something like a solid wash bar where you can have less plastic, less liquid, less waste, and you want to just kind of keep it simple. Trim your beard to a style that allows you to be simple, where you don't need a really rigorous grooming routine. That video should be perfect for you, and if you can't find it, message me on Instagram or email. It's in the description of every video, and I will be glad to help you out. Are beard bonnets overrated? Well, this is an interesting question. So there was a friend of mine who just won the World Beard Competition Best in Show. Not only did he win his category, he won the whole thing, Trevor. And he messaged me last week and was like, hey, man, I would love to discuss a video idea with you, kind of like how a world beard champion takes care of his beard. And one of the things that stood out to me is he uses a beard bonnet at night. Now, I do not. I don't like the feel of it. I don't like the way my beard looks or feels when I wake up because it just kind of pushes everything. But the concept is a beard bonnet's likely going to be made out of silk or satin. Silk or satin has much less of surface tension or surface friction than like a cloth or a cotton pillowcase. Cotton can really not be good for your beard as time goes on. It leaches products away from your face. It causes that friction and tension and can really harm the hair. I highly recommend everybody looks into a silk or satin pillowcase. I just think they feel better anyway. You know, that like cold feeling on a silk or satin pillowcase. The bonnet does the same thing. So if you have silk or satin pillowcases, I don't think that there's any need for a bonnet. However, if you're like, Dan, tell it to my wife. She only uses cotton. She will not even let me have another type. It has to look the same, be the same. If that's a non-negotiable, something like a silk bonnet could make a difference. I personally just can't work it into my rotation. So is it overrated? I don't know. It's situationally rated is the best that I would say on that one. Jacob S., do you still like Honest Amish beard and body soap? I haven't used it in probably a couple of years, but yes, I do. I've never had a bad experience with the soap from Honest Amish. The only thing I will say is they often tell people it's gentle enough to use daily. I firmly and adamantly disagree. Their beard and body soap is a true soap and does have a pH and does have the ingredients and saponification process that I believe if you use it on a daily basis, for me, it would harm my beard. So I do not recommend using that every day on your beard. However, I do believe it's a quality option to use as a stripper. So funny. As a stripping wash once a week and or use it on other parts of your body every day. I do use bar soap on the pits and bits every day. I also wash my hands. The first thing I do when I get in the shower is I get soap and I wash my hands. If I'm going to be cleaning, I want a fresh canvas and tools to work with, right? So yeah, that would be my take on that one. Bamboo is also good. Yes, bamboo is a good option. I don't know as much about bamboo as I do satin and silk, but from what I do know, I do believe that is a good option. That is a good option. And Mr. Reekin is checking in and says he does love a good stripper. What about a bad stripper? they have feelings too. Okay. Let's not just leave it to the good ones. All right, guys, we are going to wrap that up here. Again, absolute shout out to our sponsor, WeatherBeard, supporting the community, supporting good information. We will have a lot of people watching this on replay. Drop a comment. I know it's not always the first thing you think to do, but it is appreciated. Even if I just get to see your name and smile because I know people are watching, that does help out. Your discount code there, you guys, is DanC10. If you ever have any questions about WeatherBeard, reach out to them. Corey and Hannah would be happy to answer. Or if you'd like to ask me, I'm always available and I respond to absolutely everyone. Other than that, you guys, I will hopefully see you guys tonight on Beard Advice Live. It is a live stream with my beautiful wife, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We will be here. Hey, what's up, Ryan? We will have a giveaway. We will be having more beard discussions, life discussions, questions, anything like that, you guys. Other than that, one more time, my name's Dan C. Bearded. Please stay bearded.